Hey guys, Renfrey's Laser here. Unfortunately, I missed the rock paper scissors and a little bit of the beginning of the duel. But this is MegaCapitalG versus GalacticGod, and this is actually a dual commentary with GalacticGod.
What's up, YouTube? This is GalacticGod.
All right, so I see you're playing your Synchron deck. What deck did you think that MegaCapitalG was playing?
You know, I wasn't really quite sure. The last video that I had saw from MegaCapitalG before we had this duel, he did a profile on the Evil, so I was thinking that might be it, but unbeknownst to me, he had actually just done a profile earlier, like right before we, had this duel with an agent build, like a counter agent build, and as it turns out, that's what he's playing.
Yeah, I really liked this part when I was watching you guys play when you were poking him with Quill Bolt. Yeah, that was funny because you're trying to bait out like something.
Yeah, it was. He didn't set nothing. He didn't. I assume he had Gores or Trag or something. And I was like, I ain't gonna make no big play yet. I'm just gonna freaking keep poking him with 800. Because after a while, losing 800 each turn becomes quite annoying to someone. I've done it lots of times on DN.
Yeah. Okay, so during your turn right here, I guess is he thinking?
I don't know. I think well, one of us is obviously thinking. I think he just went. I think he just went and then passed turn. He just had a card, and then it looks like perhaps I guess I'm thinking now.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
I think I was just considering whether or not I should make a play because I mean he's got 6 cards in hand on 1 on the field, and I'm like the only reason why he probably set that card was so he didn't have to discard.
Yeah.
And so I'm like he's got to have like some kind of a hand trap in his hand. I mean, mill tuning.
Yeah.
That's pro milling right there.
Yeah.
All right. So I was really contemplating, what exactly I wanted to do for my next. If I wanted to go all in and make some kind of play, or just keep poking. And I just kept thinking, he's got to have something. That's all I could think. And I kept thinking that back row's got to be like a judgment or a warning or something that's going to stop my big play.
Okay, as I was watching this, I figured he was about to play his Trag. I mean, it was basically pretty much like telegraphed that he had a Trag or something like that.
Yeah.
At this point, and unfortunately for you, because of his conservative playstyle, that Trag's pretty big.
And this right here, his pro set heavy,
pro set heavy,
really angered me because, as you can see, I had a warning down, so I could have stopped that Trag. But I really wanted to wait for him to put something more dangerous than a Tragodia on the field. And at this point, I'm like, oh, this is freaking whack.
Yeah. So I actually asked you earlier, why you didn't stop that, and yeah, you said you didn't want to commit to it, and then have him bring something else bigger.
Yeah, because I mean, he had so much stuff in his hand, he could still make a big power play, and then my warning was gone. I mean, Heavy kind of solved that problem for him anyways, but...
Yeah. Okay, so... Okay, now that you're looking at what is that, a 3,000 Trag...
36, actually.
Okay, Trag. So what... Yeah. So, okay.
And this kind of upsetted me, too.
So this is really funny. I remember talking to you that day, and you were like, I pretty much had to, stop.
Yeah, it wasn't really too much of a debate in my head, because... I really couldn't win. The only reason why you should really keep going if they max you is if you're going to gain some super advantage or go for game. And with all the cards in my hand, although I could put a grip of Synchros on the field right now, there was no way I was going to beat him, especially with a 36 Trag chilling on the field, laughing at me. You know what I mean?
And unfortunately, making your...
Or bigger, with each card, with each card of, you would have drawn. So I had no choice but to stop.
Yeah.
And I even say in the commentary, a little side chat too, I was like, you got enough cards in your hand. Then I was like, man. At this point, I still didn't really even know what deck he was playing because I've only seen a Tragodia and a Max C. And so, he could have been playing some sort of weird Twilight or anything, really. Friggin' Tragodia and Max C can fit into quite a bit of decks.
Okay, so how much did you take? It was 29, right? Something like 29. He has 42.
Yeah, he's got a grip of points then. Fuck. Junk Synchron's only 13.
Yeah,
so, 29. Okay. So right now I'm sitting pretty low at 27. Although life points, they don't really bother me too much. I can get down to 100, and you can still win with less than 100 life points.
Yeah, here's your Heavy to stop his.
I was still so worried about what his back row. I haven't seen nothing yet. So
I was actually laughing because I was thinking that he was gonna play a compulse and
shoot my
well no
shoot his trag back up.
Put trag back in his hand, and put your guy back in your hand,
yeah,
and then like set you back a turn. But what he actually plays is pretty funny. Well, he doesn't actually play; he just lets it go. But I mean, like that would have been pretty funny. Yeah. So
yeah, that wasn't Forbidden Lances don't really hurt my deck too much, anyways. They just pop out really huge synchrons that have all kinds of crazy effects.
Yeah.
So at this point, I really got to do something about that trag, and so I go ahead and hope he doesn't have a maxi and continue on with my play. And let's see.
Yeah, it looks like you're good so far because he didn't activate it, and
Yeah.
I think he actually make a joke about that, like, and he would, yeah.
Yeah, he's not stopping anything yet, even though he has the power. I think he's waiting for the right time. Usually, most people don't stop. If they don't stop the synchron play early on, they probably don't have nothing that can stop it. But if you're smart, you'll wait till I'm really committed and then stop something somewhere along the way before I get to my Quasar. At that point, then I have a field of a jumbled mess, kind of, because I don't have Quasar on the field. I just have the components to make it, which I probably won't be able to make the following turn.
Yeah. I was really confused when you brought this out because I'm not really super familiar with the Synchron deck, so I had to look at it. And Word Warrior's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He works great in this deck. Combo's really good with Unknown, and he's got 3,000 attack too. So I mean, He's pretty hefty. He gets right up there with BLS. So
that was
pretty cool.
That was pretty neat that you brought that out.
I'm not sure why he didn't stop the Road Warrior effect right there. So right here I activate Road Warrior's effect, and as you can see later on in the duel, he does have something that's going to stop Road Warrior from getting his effect. So in hindsight, I'm not really sure why he didn't stop it here, because this would have put me in a really bad spot with a couple Doppel tokens sitting out in the wind in attack mode, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's interesting to see that tech. A lot of people have been playing it. I actually played it in a fairy build that I had tried out like earlier in the week, and it seems, I mean, when it came out, it wasn't really super powerful. Hand traps weren't really played, and I'm just gonna go ahead and Herald of Orange Light is really,
yeah, it's the card that you ultimately find out that he has in a little bit.
Herald of Orange Light's really powerful right now in this meta.
I really think I'm good too, because at this point he's letting me get my formula effect too. So he's just letting me really commit to the field, and I think I have a good position, and I'm able to go pretty far at this point too, because I believe at this point I have enough power to actually make, or enough cards to complete the combo to make Quasar. And if you look over at the chat that we're having, I'm like trying to figure out like the best way to go ahead and do this with and get around his trag and everything. So that's essentially what's going on in my mind. I'm just trying to figure out what he's actually got back there, because I'm thinking like, well, maybe I can hit the the trag, and then when I go to hit again, and I'm going to see a friggin' Gores at 4,000 attack plop down and start laughing at me or something, because I still have no idea what he's really playing.
Yeah, he hasn't really done a whole lot.
Yeah, because I mean, I've seen like Forbidden Lance, Maxi, Tragodia.
Those are all really blanket staples, or not staples, but tech.
Yeah,
so it's like
it's nothing that can really define a deck. I mean, obviously he knows what I'm playing at this point, as I've got friggin' formulas and junk synchrons and unknowns and Doppel Warriors flying out all over the place. So he's got a little bit more of an advantage because he knows exactly what I'm playing. Card-wise, though, we're still looking almost even, really. Because, I mean, I got 4 monsters on the field and 4 cards in hand, and he's got a monster on the field with 6 cards in hand. And as you know, about to, bring out Level Eater's effect and sync up once again.
Hey, the double tokens are 1-stars, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, when I was watching this, I was like, what are you making? I actually asked you if you were making TG Librarian. I think you said yeah.
Yeah, because I can, at this point, I can go for, when I synchro up some more, I'll be able to, get even farther.
Get a hand advantage.
Yeah, because I haven't normal summoned yet. And so at this point, now I'm like, okay, now I can, really get far.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. That's what kind of messed me up right there.
So the interesting thing about Herald of Orange Light is that not only does it negate the effect, but it destroys the card as well. So it's kind of cool because, I mean, what's really cool about it is you can use it on other hand traps.
And for those of you guys kind of wondering how I was going to make Quasar right here, I was going to bring out Junk Synchron, which brings out Formula Synchron, which is one of the key components I would have needed. Then I'd level eat off a Road Warrior, and then make a level 4 Synchro with Junk and Level Eater, and then which would be Armory Arm. And then I'd level eat again off a Road Warrior, making him now level 6. So then I could do Road Warrior with Formula, with Armory Arm to go ahead and bring out Quasar, the whole time drawing off of TG Hyper Librarian's effects. So I should have ended the field with a Librarian, a Quasar, and 5 cards in hand, which would have been pretty nice, if it wasn't for the Herald of Orange Light that MegaCapitalG friggin' dropped on me.
Yeah, that was funny. I remember you asking me how do you put tokens on things.
I don't normally use like the little token effects and everything, but
unfortunately, it's gonna skip ahead a little bit because I had remembered that Capital G had put his deck profile up, and I wanted to see what was in it because I was like, oh yeah, what's in this deck? And I was like, oh wait, I'm recording. So I came back and I saw I happened to catch the Dark Hole right as it destroyed Galactic God's Field.
At this point, I'm sitting really bad because now I only have 2 cards in hand and 1 in the back row. And he's got 4 cards in hand as well. And I believe here he's going to try and go for, he's going to try and push for game. Yeah, see, he's removing his light and his dark. And here I'm like, oh my gosh.
Okay, so the life points aren't super far off, but you can't take another hit if he were to normal summon something, which he does. So it's really funny because I was laughing at this point. I was like, wow, what are you gonna do? And we find out that you have a
Fiendish
Chain. So now you're gonna get poked with a Sangan. I don't know, like
the MegaCapitalG's like little dots was kind of priceless.
Yeah, it's really funny. When I was watching, I was laughing super hard. I was like, wow, you just got hit by a Sangan.
I only wish that I had like a better play at this point. My cards were such a mismatch now because I was pushing for Quasar because I figured I had it. I was going little by little too to make sure that he wasn't just baiting me out, and he was actually because he hit the right card at the right time. And I mean, he could have hit one probably a little bit earlier, but then I would have still had a bunch of cards in hand. I could have made a good push later on too.
Yeah, Junk Synchron's pretty versatile. I think. I mean, I think that was probably the smart play for him to stop your Junk Synchron.
Yeah. Well, at that point, once I brought Junk Synchron out, the next play was to go right for Quasar. So, which. Then I could have negated Herald of Orange Light with Quasar's effect.
This is pretty close. Even though it seems like you're at a really big disadvantage, I think you actually.
I believe I get him down still. Not to give any spoilers to anybody.
Yeah, I think
about what's going to happen next. But I summon Unknown at this point, and then I'm going to activate Quillbolt's effect, which pretty much states that whenever there's a tuner monster on the field, Quillbolt can be special summoned from the graveyard at the cost of removing him when he's sent back to the graveyard. So, which I will get to in a second. So now I bring out Armory Arm, because essentially it's the only play I have, because I don't want to sit out there without a monster or without enough protection. And see, as you can see there, I just removed Quillbolt now. And now I'm just contemplating, do I really want to hit Sangan and give him another card? Or do I want to leave it out there with the potential for him to go for an Exceed play or a Synchro or something, crazy? So I was just kind of trying to decide, what would be my best option, to just give him the card with Sangan or to, just let it stand and, take my chances.
Yeah, while I was watching this, I was like, "What are you gonna do?" Like at this point, I mean, at least he has Chaos Sorcerer is basically dead. But if he were to draw a mystical or a heavy or something, you would have been in a bad spot, and you were kind of in a bad spot anyway.
Yeah, and so at this point now he's like, he brings out, Master Hyperion, and grabs a Herald, which is actually what's gonna, eventually be my undoing, and then uses Master Hyperion's effect, and the last card in my hand is an effect veiler, so I can negate it, which was kind of cool. Unfortunately, though, the Herald was able to negate my effect veiler, ultimately leaving me completely, with the field open and vulnerable to an attack, which was pretty whack, but is what it is. And then he brings out a second Hyperion just to add a little insult to injury, but it's all good.
And There you go. MegaCapitalG wins. So essentially, yeah. So do you think if you kind of like knew what you were actually playing against during the duel, if you had a little more of an idea, you would have been able to adapt a little better?
If I would have known he was playing Herald Orange Lights, I think I might have played a little more conservatively. But I think once I was committed, like, to trying to bring out Quasar, you know, you can't really just be half committed. You're gonna have to go all the way. So
yeah,
there was really not much I could have done. I mean, he let me go for quite a while, so I really didn't think he had an option at that point. I thought maybe the only thing he had was either another Trag or a Gorz in his hand. You know, that's what I had. My biggest fear was. But
yeah, do you think that I guess they're called hand trap agents? Do you think hand trap agents is going to become like a top tier deck, or do you think that it is a top tier deck? I think it's actually really good.
I haven't played against enough of them. Usually hand traps though, they can lead to some pretty interesting draws that can't really work out. And if you're playing a deck that's not using real effect heavy, you know, monster, something like maybe Dark World, or, you know, where they just keep dropping big beaters on the field and they can continuously do it over and over again, it tends to fall apart a little more easier.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you liked the video, and as always, you can subscribe here at my YouTube or GalacticGod's channel to see when we put out new videos. This has been Brain from Laser
And GalacticGod.